Welcome back to the Varsity Catholic Podcast. I'm your host, Brady Steer. We got another Seek 26 special live episode with some Seton Hall boys here. How you guys doing today?
Pretty
Feeling
good.
Doing good.
Let's go. You guys want to do a quick intro of yourselves for the audience?
Yeah, my name is Michael Kelton. I'm a junior at Seton Hall University, and I run track and cross country.
Let's go.
And my name is Beeman. I am a senior at Seton Hall, also running track and cross country.
Let's go. Good stuff. How's you guys' Seek experience been so far? We're about halfway through. Anything that you've really liked so far? Anything that you're looking forward to coming up?
It's been great for me. It's my first Seek experience.
Let's go.
It's been awesome.
I think Newcomer.
Yeah. The moment that stuck out to me the most is definitely the opening mass last night. Or I've lost track of days. But
Yeah, you do that. It happens at Seek.
the opening mass, just seeing all the priests and the bishops process in together, and then 15,000 Catholics singing the entrance hymn, and the atmosphere, the lights are dimmed, the incense, it's just like instant chills.
Wait till tonight. Adoration is next
I've
level.
heard
next
it's
level.
I've heard it's tremendous.
Yeah.
So that's been a very standout moment for me, and all the talks have been great. So I'm
Praise
looking
God.
forward to the next couple days.
Let's go. How about you, Steven?
Kind of like same as Michael. First Seek experience as well.
Okay, let's go.
So many people. And it's so cool to see so many people that are just so excited about their faith. Because I think oftentimes we're not always surrounded by people, or maybe we don't even know we're surrounded by people that are as excited about their faith as they are. But being in a space where you can really see people express that excitement for their faith is really cool, especially when it's a bunch of people that are same age as you.
Yeah, I literally said that this morning. I was sitting by somebody. I said, going to these conferences reminds me that I'm not alone.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you're around, you're like, I know I'm not, but it just doesn't always hit the same. Then you look around like, oh, these 15, 20,000 people, they got my back.
Yeah, certainly.
They got my back. Let's go. So what's kind of an early sports memory for you guys? So you're cross-country runners now, but do you have a moment like playing t-ball at the home, or like getting hit in the face by a football from your brother or something growing up?
That's a good question. I mean, growing up, I didn't even know what cross country was, so I didn't think running was going to be a thing in my life. I grew up playing pretty much like all the other sports that the kids would play, like soccer, baseball, basketball, stuff like that. But I mean, I don't know if anything like in particular stands out, but I always loved baseball. That was like my first love of a sport.
Okay, there we go.
And so I've been around that for I don't know, long time.
Wait, where are you from?
I'm from Iowa.
You're from Iowa, so wait, are you a Cubs fan? Iowa Cubs?
I'm actually a White Sox fan.
No way.
My family's from the south side of Chicago, so, and shout out to Pope Leo as well.
Yeah, there you go.
A fellow White Sox
go.
fan. So, but yeah, so pretty much as long as I can remember, I've been surrounded by baseball. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry that you're a White Sox fan. There's not a lot of
it is tough most years.
baseball
so.
itself is already a sport of failure, and then if you're a White Sox fan, you fail even
more. Yeah.
So
That is true.
I love it. How
For
are
me,
you?
it's kind of similar. I didn't start running until technically junior year of high school. So
No way.
I'm pretty new to the sport. I grew up playing like Steven baseball, but basketball was my first love in the world of athletics, I'd say. Just playing year-round basketball. I started running because I wanted to get in shape for basketball. That's not really how that works, but
no, I've done that.
But it was during COVID, and I was looking for something to do. So I went out, ran cross country in the fall, and just instantly, I just fell in love with the sport. I've never gotten a feeling like I've gotten from running anywhere else, like in any other sport.
I see you nodding your head over there. So
Definitely true.
A lot of people, right, when they hear that, they're like, you mean you ran more and you liked it more? Like that doesn't compute,
absolutely.
but you're both like, yeah, there's that feeling and it just hit. Is that the runner's high, or does it go beyond that?
I think there's definitely a runner's high. There's such thing as a runner's high, but I'd say it goes beyond that.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
it's like a constant like itch almost. Like
really?
keep running. And like always for me, it's always like I want to see how much more I can like challenge myself or push myself. Like I love challenging myself every day, and I think running is a sport that for me does that more than anything else. And so I don't know, it's just always like wait, what more can I do?
Yeah.
In running, I feel like there's always it's almost like limitless possibilities with running. You can always run further than you did last time. Not that it's always a good idea, but you can always do it.
Maybe a little faster.
Yeah, exactly. Faster, further, whatever it be. But yeah, I mean, running provides an opportunity to, just push yourself further every day.
I think about the verse in Isaiah, I think it's 41, but just about like, I'll run and not grow weary, fly on eagle's wings, whatever. I imagine, and I'm hopeful that like when I make it to heaven, that I literally will just sprint and run and not be tired. And like that's like taken literally in that sense. And just be like, that sounds so fun to like do that. Is that one of those verses you guys, I don't know, do you guys have a Bible verse or something that you hone in on for races or for your sport?
I have, and this has stuck with me for a while. Well, it used to be, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me, because I was a big Steph Curry fan growing up.
There you go, Philippians 4:13.
That was his I think he had it tatted, or
probably,
it was his first. But it's become more recently, I am who am.
Yeah.
I am who I am.
Good one.
It's just because I can ponder that all day, and it's just like the human mind is not, physically or intellectually and psychologically capable of grasping the infinite.
Yes.
And it's just like, when I think about that verse, my mind's blown, because I can think about it all day and not come to a definite endpoint. And that's just what I marvel at is just wow. Every time I think of that verse.
Running around South Orange and you pondering that, and then obviously you're like, oh crap, there's a car there. Gotta watch out. There's some traffic around here.
I run a stoplight or a red light or something like that.
Yeah. Do you ever go to?
I say for a long time, I used to write it on my spikes in high school. Romans 5:3 talks about perseverance and
love that one.
like suffering and endurance. And so I think with running, like there's definitely you experience some of like that physical suffering and also mental suffering, because it's hard to keep yourself going when you're physically suffering. And so I think just the fact that suffering produces like unwavering perseverance and endurance. I think running is a symbol of not only what we can do physically, but also like running can be how our faith is as well. I think we can go so much further, do so much more than we think.
Yes.
I think running demonstrates that in a physical sense, which can also be a part of our faith.
Okay, when did you start to realize that? Because that's a question I ask everybody. We actually just asked it with the other guys that were on before here. Is like, all right, how do you connect faith and sports? And you're just saying it right there. Like, dude, I've connected that already. Talk to me more about that.
I can give, if you want, because I have a specific moment in mind that.
Perfect. Let's go.
So it was after I ran my first cross country season, and I didn't.
Junior year in high school.
This was when I was a sophomore in high school. It was the winter after the fall, because I didn't run indoor track.
Gotcha.
I went back to basketball and baseball.
Okay.
But I was still running during that time. I was practicing, baseball, basketball. But I was still running because I just loved it so much. And I was on a run around my neighborhood. I was listening to music, country music. Country is my favorite genre. I listen to a lot of country music. And I forget what song it was, but I was just running around my neighborhood, and I just instantly just got chills throughout my entire body. And I say this to everybody who I meet who is interested in getting into running, who's also in the faith, like, running is where I find God, where I find peace, because it's just me. It's nature. It's me. It's me. My thoughts, nature, and
it's how God speaks to you.
Exactly. I can't really describe it, but my mind goes to a different place, and some runs I just get the instant chills, just get the feeling of. God is with me. And
Would you say it's like easier to connect with God sometimes in that versus like sitting in a church pew sometimes?
Yes, I would say so. I'd say often more powerfully even when I'm running, I feel the presence of God with me, and it's become almost a form of prayer to me.
Yeah.
Which
love that.
Yeah, it's very powerful.
I echo what Michael said. I mean, it just like, and some people find it weird, but like I love to run by myself, and that's like, some people are like, oh, how could you do, like, I don't listen to music when I run, and I don't like.
Let's go. We got a trooper here.
And people ask me all the time, how can you not listen to music when you're? I said, it's just like my space, and like same thing. It's like a form of prayer almost. Like it's calming, it's peaceful. You get to be there and just sort of like experience, like you get to be in the moment, be present. And so it really is a great way to just connect with the world around you, connect with the Lord. And I often ask myself, especially like when I decided to run in college, like, why is running such a big part of my life? Like, why is God putting this in my life? And I think another one of the things that I see that connects running with faith is just community. The running community is so supportive. And I think it can really, in many ways, mirror like how we're called to be as Catholics, really just like joyfully spreading the good news. And I think runners do a great job of building community. And there's such a great opportunity within running to, share community with others, whether it be on a run, like with your teammates or something like that. Like you can really share a lot of like great experiences that way. So there's a really great opportunity to build community as well through running.
I've noticed stereotypically anyways, there's a lot of faithful people long distance more so than shorter distance. And I don't know if that's because of, well, one I want to say, is that just my perspective or you guys
I've noticed that as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
And my perspective, I'm like, it's because of a couple of things. One, the perseverance to go that long, that far. It helps you understand that's the faith life journey. It's not a sprint, it's a marathon. So it connects in that way. But then also, you just said it, but like, it's really hard to have a conversation when you're doing a 100-meter sprint. But if you're running 15 miles, like you're going to get out of breath a little bit, but
you got a
little more time, some conversations. Is that true?
I've had some great conversations on 12-mile, 14-mile long runs with some of my buddies. It's definitely true. It's like, I don't know, it's a free outlet pretty much. You can talk about whatever's on your mind, and you just got an hour and a half, however long you're running for, to just talk about whatever. And yeah, it's a free space.
Okay, why did you guys, this might not be related to faith at all, but why did you guys choose Seton Hall? What brought you there?
Do you want to go first?
Yeah, I can go first. So I had applied to Seton Hall just kind of out of interest. So I studied diplomacy, and Seton Hall is a school of diplomacy. Being from the Midwest in Iowa, it's harder to find. Like you can find like an international relations program at like most universities, or like political science, something like that. But it's hard to find like a whole like dedicated school of diplomacy at many schools around the nation. So Seton Hall is one of them. And so I applied just academically to go to Seton Hall, and I'd gotten accepted, and then I get a packet in the mail, like, I don't know, sometime in November my senior year from our old coach, Coach Moon. And so that was when like the recruitment journey for athletics started. And so I think I had always felt that God opened that door for a reason.
Okay.
And I always felt like I had applied like early acceptance to go to a different school. So like if I had been accepted there, it would have been binding. And I actually pushed that application to like the regular application window so that I could go to Seton Hall, because I felt like there was just a door open that academically and athletically, this was like such a blessing and such an opportunity I wouldn't get elsewhere. And so that's really why I chose Seton Hall, because I felt like the door opened for a reason.
That's good. I like that. Good answer.
For me, it started junior year of high school, actually. I was in my marketing class, and a student who was majoring in sports management, who was also interning with the New York Jets, he came in cool. and gave a talk. Yeah, that's what I thought. And that's what I wanted to do immediately is work for a professional sports team, do sports management, sports media, whatever. And that's what I wanted to do. That was my first initial college that I started researching. Later on, senior year, as I, went through more thought about college and my future, I decided I wanted to major in business, some sort of business. I liked technology. I also liked the markets, so finance, etc. Okay. So I ended up landing on information technology management and finance. I'm double major currently. It just
sounds accurate.
Yeah. Seton Hall just happens to be right next to New York City, the pinnacle of finance, Wall Street, all that stuff. So that happened to just work out in its favor. I was born and raised Catholic. So, looking for a college, that wasn't my biggest priority.
I was going to ask if that was part of it or not. Most people, it's not. You're a high school kid, you're like, I just want to play sports.
Yeah,
it definitely wasn't. Like, I wanted to grow in my Catholic faith, but I was like, if I go to a Catholic school, it's not the end of, if I don't go to a Catholic school, it's not the end of the world. I'll tell you more about that later. But
okay, good.
I wanted to continue running in college, anywhere. I was good with running at any school, any program. And I just so happened to get recruited by Seton Hall as well. Coach Moon, shout out to Coach Moon.
Yeah.
Where's he at now?
He's retired.
He's retired.
Okay.
Yeah, he coached at Seton Hall for 53 years, so
Yeah.
well-deserved retirement.
Yeah, no kidding.
Definitely
Yeah.
well
Good for
deserved.
him.
Yeah, he's the man.
They didn't kick him out anytime.
No,
No,
they didn't.
left on his own terms. He gave me a call on a bus ride home, pretty much telling me that I was like his last phone call. He was gonna like cross me off his recruiting list, and I was like, "Wow!" And I said now father there.
I thought you were gonna say he's the one who said, "Hey man, you're the reason I'm retiring." I can't handle this kid
I just
anymore."
can't do it. I can't deal with you anymore.
Yeah.
So, literally, the business thing, the fact that it's Catholic and that I got to run there. I also live in Jersey. I live in southern New Jersey, so
Okay.
it's a 2-hour car drive from home. So everything literally worked out in its favor. And I've grown a lot in my faith since going to Seton Hall. So I'm very fortunate to have chosen Seton Hall.
Talk to me about that a bit. So now you guys are at Seton Hall.
Yeah.
Most people's stories, right, is they don't jump into something right away. Maybe you guys did, but what was the process of getting more involved in your faith life too? Because for those who don't know, Seton Hall is a Catholic school, but obviously not everybody that goes there is Catholic either. So what was the transition? And maybe it's a really long, huge story. I don't know.
Yeah.
But you joined as a freshman, and all of a sudden now you're here. You said senior, junior, both seniors?
Yeah.
I'm a junior.
Junior, senior, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're talking 3-4 years later now.
Right.
All right, how did this come about?
For me, freshman year, I think it was the first or second day of because athletes move in earlier than regular students. It was the first or second day of the athlete move-in period. And I was moving into the freshman dorms, and I was just hauling luggage on my back, and I dropped a bag to open the door to the dorm hall, and 2 missionaries came running up and was like, "Hey, let me help you with that." Yeah.
Wait, was one Jess Brinker by chance?
No, it was Carlos Serta, who is at Minnesota right now, and Ted Reinhardt, who
shout out
back in Kansas City.
Shout out to these guys.
Okay, great. Okay.
I remember this day. They helped me with my bags. They introduced themselves. They told me they were missionaries, and I was like, "Wow, that's a funny coincidence. I'm very interested in going to mass more, daily mass, ideally, going to adoration more, going to confession." And they were like, "That's awesome." And they told me about an event that was coming up from Seton Hall's campus ministry that I ended up going to. And that was the starting point of me intentionally trying to be more involved in my Catholic faith, because I had the resources: daily mass, adoration, confession, campus ministry, Bible studies, athlete Bible studies, discipleships.
You're taking advantage of all these opportunities.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I got extremely, extremely invested. Along with that, shout out to Dylan Lanou as well.
Yeah, Dylan, I love him.
Started doing discipleship freshman year, led our Bible studies. I forget if he was the one who told me about Pints with Aquinas podcast, but
I can see that.
I started binge listening to Pints with Aquinas and a few other Catholic YouTubers who I learned a lot of my Catholic faith from.
Well, we're no Matt Frad, but you can start binge watching the Varsity Catholic Podcast.
I can do that.
There you go.
I can do that. And so that was the journey. That was the continuation. It's still a journey, but that was the
Praise
starting
God you
point.
dropped that bag.
Yeah.
I know.
You probably would have got involved still anyways, but
I know.
that
I know.
helped,
If it wasn't for that bag, I don't know
knows? He's
where I would be.
Yeah.
Yeah, how about yourself?
Well, similar to Michael, I guess, like when I was looking for schools, I was really just looking for like academics primarily. And then, like I said, the door opened for Seton Hall, and being a Catholic university and being raised Catholic, it was a really good fit. And really, it wasn't until the spring of my freshman year. I had one of my professors was Father Nick Sertich, who is the director of campus ministry at Seton Hall.
Cool.
And he asked me a few times, like, "Hey, like, you do like a great job reading in class. Would you want to like volunteer at mass? Maybe be a elect or something like that." And I said, "Yeah, sure, I'll give it a try. I've never done it before, but I'll give it a try." And I was just roped into campus ministry from then on out. And then So that really got me involved with like mass a lot more. Like I was going to mass every Sunday, but being more involved and starting to get to know more people who were involved at mass was great. And then my sophomore year was Dylan's first year on campus as a missionary.
Yeah.
I didn't know who Dylan was. Like, who's this Dylan guy reaching out to me? He just texted me one day. He's like, hey, do you want to grab a meal? I was like, sure, I don't know you, but why not? And
good on him. He's doing his job.
Dylan has been like my focus hero for sure. He's the reason I'm here today.
It's a good title for him,
and
focus
he
hero.
wow, just amazing. Like Michael was saying, discipleship, Bible study, all that, just super awesome. So I think
you plan on having Dylan on the podcast one of these days too. He's got a great story. I'm sure you guys know his testimony.
Great story. Great story.
Yeah, that's exciting too. Okay,
Yeah.
that's cool. Shout out to those guys. I mean, did I cut you off? Sorry, I didn't know.
No,
anything else.
yeah, it's good. Yeah.
Okay. One thing I'm curious about. This is a little bit of. I took a little bit of a right turn here, but it just came into my mind. What's something about the sport of cross country that the average person or even average athlete doesn't realize or doesn't know about it? Like,
That's a great question.
because I'm thinking,
Yeah.
most people are gonna. I know. I want to hear the answers. One thing that I've come to realize is like, it's not just that you guys run a lot; it's you run a lot of miles a lot of times. So we were talking. I did my first half marathon just like a couple months ago.
Yeah.
And you're like,
That's
when
awesome.
we do our 14 to 16 mile jogs, you know, and it's just like that's literally longer than I went on my competition run.
Yeah.
So like that's like something like. But that's also a little bit obvious. Like, obviously, you run a lot. But I don't know if there's something like race day or nutrition or behind the scenes that you think most people don't actually realize about cross country.
Yeah. I think there's obviously you see the running side. There's a lot more that goes into it than running. And I think
There you go. This is good.
like one of the things that immediately jumps to mind is like lifting. Like you look at a cross country and you're like, wow, they must not
This
lift
is
a
good.
lot. Like, you know, I mean, like why would they lift? They're just running. But I think there's a lot of like strength stuff that's super important. Like Michael and I were just talking about this yesterday. Like the importance of your core.
Injury
Like, you think about your
prevention.
core, like
Core.
injury prevention.
Yeah.
It's really a lot of injury prevention lifting and like core. Like we think about like if like the average person is just thinking about like, you probably don't really need your core to run, but like you really need
Big
those
time.
muscles to
Huge.
run. And like
Yeah.
especially as you're going like when you're getting later into a race or like year and a half marathon, like the core, like that can really, you know,
you start bending over more, you lose your form.
a strong core is important as you get later into those races. And so I think those little
These guys
things.
are saying they have 8 packs. We're not going to show
no,
you.
no,
We're not going to show it on screen. Don't worry.
like those little things like core and the injury prevention training. Like we do, like you won't see us like, you know, we're not going to be like squatting or benching like 500 pounds, but
Well,
we're
that'd
in
be
there like
harmful
doing
for your running,
intentional
but- yeah.
lifts that help to keep our body like a well-oiled machine.
Yeah.
And
That
so it
makes
really,
sense.
there's like a lot of those little things behind the scenes that like you wouldn't really see or experience. Like you definitely like I've had like I had somebody in the community ask me, is like, are you the guy that is always running past my house in the short shorts? I was like, yeah. So like you see that part of
The
them,
short
but like you don't see like the other like little things that
Yes,
you know
yes.
that runners are doing. So
Is this true? I heard this once. This analogy made a lot of sense for me when you're talking about core. Was if you were to drop a metal pipe, the reverberation goes through the metal and it kind of bounces off. If you were to drop a wet noodle, it kind of just dies. And if your core is strong like a pipe, then it takes every step you take when you're running, it actually transfers into your body, can actually use all that energy versus it just like going away. I thought that was a
That
good
makes sense
example.
to me.
I don't know if that's
That's pretty
true,
cool.
but
Sounds true to me. I
take
can
it.
speak to anecdotally at least. Over this past summer, I developed a 20 it's just daily 20-minute core workout that I would do after every single run, and short rest, high intensity. And that's very true that the core is the foundation of your body in a lot of sense, in a lot of ways. And the stronger your core is, the easier it's going to be for you to maintain posture, reduce fatigue. Leg turnover helps with leg speed, helps with their stride, even helps with their arm swing.
yeah, I believe it.
Like
Yeah.
planks, like helps with everything. Just keeps your back straight, keeps everything straight and aligned. And so it's played a very important part in my ability to feel good as a runner and maintain strength and good posture over course of a long race or long run. So
because back is a part of core too. Back.
Yeah.
Inside.
Yeah.
I know I joked around about the 8-pack, but like a good core is all the way around.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like glutes too, hips,
They're all
hamstrings,
connected,
everything.
so-
Everything's
Work on that
connected.
a lot. Yeah.
One thing I learned, so it's not surprising to me now, but how much elbow fighting there is in the backwoodsy areas of
Yeah.
races. I don't know if you guys got any fun stories.
Wasn't there a fight at Big East this year?
Oh yeah. After the race, there was, but
Yeah.
There was like
you
a
know,
fight at our Big
because
East
people are
championship meet.
running into each
Yeah.
other?
I guess so.
And you get like the barriers on the side, like you don't want to get pushed into those. I've seen people like
Yeah.
Contact sport.
underrated
though.
contact sport.
Underrated
Yeah, underrated. very
Underrated contact
That's
sport.
true though, actually though. Okay, so that does happen.
There
It does
is
happen.
some of it. I try and avoid it as much as I can, but it's unavoidable, especially at the start of a race. I mean, you're just
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
bunched up, and so
Once everyone's
Well, they-
it's crazy.
fighting for
funnel you.
position.
yeah.
into the skinny.
And it's even like
Yeah.
it's not even like other teams. It's like teammates too. Like my freshman year at our regional race, it was just like a wet, slippery course, and one of my teammates just tabletoped the other. He just like fell in front of him, and then he fell. It was funny.
Not good.
Funny after the moment, but
yeah, but in the moment,
Yeah.
you just worry about injuries and stuff there too. But
Yes,
I guess
there-
that's why you're lifting too.
yeah.
There you
Injury
go.
prevention. That's great. Do you guys have a favorite course out there? I know I'm from the Midwest too, so you know the I'm gonna mess it up on camera now. The one in the Twin Cities, the U of M one, the Rory.
Yeah, Roy Griak.
Roy
yes,
Griak.
I ran that in high school. Yeah,
Thank you. Okay, you did.
tough course, but a good one.
Very tough course. Like
Yeah.
that one's iconic over there. Is there anything in
Yeah.
the East that's an iconic course out there?
Van
Van
Cortlandt
Cortlandt Park in the
And
Bronx, New York.
In the Bronx.
it
That's
is-
iconic. It's
you-
not a fun course, but
Like you hear the Bronx, you're like, oh, like running in the city or something. But no, it's a park, and it's like probably the hilliest course I've ever run on.
Really?
Yeah.
It's insane.
It's
They,
tough.
they
That
have
is
like
surprising.
the back hills, oof, and they took those out because it's like
it's like too hard.
It's
so
too
they took it
hard.
out.
Times are so bad. You're saying?
yeah.
Like,
Well,
I
times are
guess
so bad,
so.
and like you can't run like now they run like a race. It's like 300 or 400 people there called IC4As. And like you just can't, like it's too skinny to run like that many people in the backwoods. But
okay.
man, is that course a challenge? But it's so fun. I think like
You think it's fun?
yeah, I think.
Oh man, no.
But I tell you what, like
No.
I've never been like my freshman year. I think that was our first race of the year, and I have never been that sore after a race before.
Yeah.
It was like. And like uphill is tough, but the downhill is like really
That's
kills
underrated.
your legs. Oh my goodness!
Downhill for miles actually hurts way more. I feel
Yeah.
like it's you obviously can run faster, but it hurts the body.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think it might be the Boston Marathon where the first, I don't know marathons too well, but the first part of the race is all downhill, and people are like, oh, this is easy. Like I'm chilling. Like I'm just
Yeah.
gonna gun the downhills and I'll be good for the rest of it. But it tears
a
up your
toll.
quads. It
Yeah.
rips your quads, and like once you get to the end of the race and you've got the slight incline, like you're just fried. Like you're done.
Yep.
Because the downhills they're sneaky hard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I believe it. Well, and everybody, and I would imagine there's a mental part too, where if you are saving yourself a little bit in that sense, not trying to kill your quads, you get passed by all these people that are killing themselves, and there's a little bit of mental game. You're like,
Yeah.
oh no, I gotta catch
Oh,
him
yeah.
again.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
All right, you talked about it a little bit earlier, but I want to jump
Yeah.
back into how do you guys connect faith and sports? Like, when's the first time you started realizing those two can be connected? And then maybe, or how do you do so now? How do you take every practice, every lift?
Yeah.
What's your mindset? Can you speak into that a little bit?
Yeah, I think, well, I like to just say a quick prayer before each of my runs. And then also, like we were talking about, like running can be a time of prayer. And I think maybe the first time I realized that was actually probably on, well, I think it was on a bike ride. And then once, because running can kind of suck for a little bit. Like when you're first getting into running, you really like probably not thinking about anything else other than like how much this stinks in the moment.
This hurts.
And so like biking is like a more like it's more enjoyable in terms of like you're not like as out of breath and like your muscles aren't burning as much, but like you're experiencing the same thing. Like you're on the trail, you're in nature, you're in the moment and you're present. And so I think that's kind of what first showed me that like this can really be a place, or like being out in nature, whether it be biking or running, anything in that sense can be a place to open our hearts to God and to receive Him too, because I think like He is all around us.
Yeah.
So it really can be a great place to receive Him.
I love that.
Yeah.
For me, there's a few things. Like Steven, I don't say a prayer before every run, but I do I do make the sign of the cross and just acknowledge God before I do any activity, and that follows after the activity, no matter if I had the worst workout of my life or if I just had the best long run of my life. It's always a sign of the cross and point towards heaven, acknowledge God. I've been through a lot of difficult injuries, very, very, very difficult injuries that made me rethink if I even had a future in the sport.
Right.
I was on the verge of quitting many times, but and a lot of there's a trail back home in South Jersey where I was going through an injury, a really bad injury. This is probably month 5 or 6, just trying to run. It was a hip flexor injury. Just killed me to run, and I just broke down in the middle of the trail. I was like, I don't know what else. I've tried everything. I don't know why this is happening. I don't know what you want me to do, but and I kind of just resigned myself to maybe being in pain for the rest of my running career. That's what I was dealing with, but I just submitted everything to God. And I was like, if this is it, this is it. But if you have anything better in store for me, then let it be done. And so I was eventually healed, praise be to God.
Okay. How long between when you had that moment to when you feel like you were healed or 100% again? Because you finally, I'm thinking like, all right, you finally surrendered it fully.
Yeah.
And then it seems like once you surrendered it, God's like, that's what I wanted you to do. And he gave you your health back.
Yes.
But like, what was that? How long was that period?
It was in the period of, so that was like mid-June, and I felt better. I was back fully training at like the end of July.
Yeah.
I want to say.
Pretty
so it was
quick.
a quick turnaround, I'd say.
Yeah.
But back to the, intersection of faith and running. Like I said, just acknowledge God before and after every workout and run. And there's a lot of pain in long distance running. I will say that.
I learned that when I did my first half, because when you run
Congrats
like a
on the half marathon.
Thank you. When you run
That's
a 5K, I was like, I feel good. I could do this.
Yeah.
But it hurts. The further you go, the more it hurts.
The more it hurts. Yeah.
Which
Very
you guys
true.
know better than I do. But sorry, continue.
And there's a lot of pain in running. We say an Our Father with the team before every meet. We just huddle up. But I offer the pain and discomfort to God, because I always just try to remind myself whenever the workouts get hard, and there are some really hard workouts that both of us have been through that just test you mentally, like push you to the limits, and it's just grueling. But if you quit, like, you'll let yourself down. You're cheating yourself. And so I just constantly just mentally, internally just pray, like, I offer this pain, this suffering that I don't want to be going through, but I just offer it to you, because I know Jesus went through a lot worse. And that's just always what I remind myself of, is I have it easy comparatively to what Jesus suffered. That just keeps me grounded.
Do you guys ever have specific intentions when you're doing that? Not that you have to give any shout outs, but you're like, I'm offering up for my teammate, like maybe a family member who's suffering, or a teammate I don't like. I've heard people do that. Do you guys do that sometimes?
Yeah, I do. I mean, I think whenever, let's see. So I did have a close family friend that passed away from ovarian cancer, and she was Irish. So I always used to wear green for her when I was younger.
It's cool.
And then there was one race where we had, it was sponsored, or we had like green wristbands that were for the Hidden Opponent, which is a mental health organization on campus.
Oh, nice.
And so I offered that up for her as well, and it was like the best cross country race of my life. I'm like, this is crazy. And then also, I recently had another family friend diagnosed with breast cancer, and so I think whenever I think of those people that really, I definitely offer those. My intentions are for them.
Yeah,
for sure.
Beautiful.
I can't say that I really do, but I definitely do keep the people who got me here in mind when I'm training or racing, or like I'm in the middle of the season and my body's just worn down and fatigued, and I'm just fatigued. I'm just done. I'm done with it. And I keep it in mind that, like, these people got me here. I need to I need to succeed. I need to do the best that I can for these people, out of respect and out of gratitude for these people. So I always keep the people who got me here in mind.
Well, I like what you said before too. You're mentioning like, I still bring it up. You give it up to God. You're always like saying thank you, whether it goes good or bad. So I think both can be true. Like I like to have specific intentions for each workout and things like that. But at the same time, there's an act of faith when we say, I give it up to God because I know God will take that and spread it wherever he needs to go. Yeah. So both are very applicable. I haven't talked to you guys about this before, but whenever a workout is not given up to God or not offered up for something, it could be seen as almost like you could argue it's almost like you're wasting a little bit of time.
Yeah, just going through the motions.
You're going through the motions. Like, what are you doing this for?
Right.
There can be a little selfishness there. Like, God gave us this desire. But also, like, sport is also meant to be played for its own sake. So, like, you can enjoy running just because you enjoy running. Yeah. Like that good old Chariots of Fire quotes, God made me fast, and I feel God's presence when I do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I love that.
One quick thing I do want to add is once I heard this a few years ago. It was like a way to glorify God or to offer things to God, or in your prayer to God. It was like, you might not be able to do the most ginormous things, offerings to God, but you can glorify God in the smallest moments of your life and in the smallest things you do.
Amen.
And so, like, I always keep that in mind, as like working as hard as I possibly can and being the best version of myself in my sport. In a sense, if I offer it to God, is giving glory to God. And that's always what I think about, is trying my best, whether it be in schoolwork and in an actual job or, in sport and training. It's like doing that with the intention of glorifying God is the way to go. And that's what I keep in mind a lot.
Amen. Do you guys have any role models you look up to? The person I think about all the time is Alan Webb. He's famous, he's Catholic and all stuff like that. So I don't know. Do you guys have any role models, sports, or even priesthood, or even maybe it's Dylan? Who knows? I don't know. Yeah. Role models you guys look up to?
My coaches have played a giant role in just forming who I am as an athlete and a man. But I'm a big Kobe fan. Okay. So he's not my idol or anything. I don't really believe in idols, but I resonate him and Jordan. I just growing up around basketball. Basketball has always been. Yeah, I do. Okay. I like bringing the same competitiveness and fierceness to a sport that's like pretty mellow, pretty chill. But I like to go into this sport with the same energy that I had in baseball and basketball.
I mean, if you're going through those injuries, you kind of need that tenacity to get you through it too.
You need the drive and the grit.
The whole what was it? Kobe broke his notorious Achilles.
Made he shot the free throws. Yeah, Mamba mentality.
That's crazy. Yeah, and you're like, I'm gonna keep running.
Yeah.
Love that. How about yourself?
Similar to Michael, I mean, coaches definitely. Both my high school cross country and baseball coach, two of my favorite people in the world. And I think part of the reason is because they were really the epitome of a servant leader. And they gave themselves for the team, for the betterment of the people around them. And like having them as an example just definitely, I mean, it's like how Michael was talking about, like thinking about the people who have gotten you here. I always think, I think about them every day when I'm running and training. And so having those people as role models is really great. And in terms of the sporting world, I love Tadej Pogacar. He's a professional cyclist. He's just, man, he's incredible. He's won the Tour de France a couple of times, 2-time world champion now. And so but I loved, one of the things I love about him, he always has a smile on his face. He's always having fun, which I think for me, that's part of the reason I love to run, is because it's fun. I wouldn't be out there if I don't have fun with it. And so just having fun, especially like seeing him, a person who's kind of like at the peak of his sport and is like winning all these things, but like still has a smile on his face. It's really incredible to me. And also, it's also like he's lost too. And so there was a great so like in cycling, when you watch some of the replays, sometimes they like have some blurbs from the team radio. So like the cars and the team coaches can communicate with the riders while they're riding. And so one of these days he was really struggling in the Tour de France, and he was kind of getting his butt kicked by his rival. And he just like says into the microphone, like, I'm dead, I'm gone. And later in his interview, like he just talks about like how some days he's going to suffer, but he's going to bounce back. And so I just love that, because running's the same way. Like, not every day is going to feel good.
No.
Every day feels different. And like, but it's just important that like Michael was saying, you show up and you give your best every day. And so having like a role model like that, who, although like he's suffering and like he's really in like a hard part of the race, is still able to like bounce back and have a smile on his face. I just love that about him.
That's an analogy for life too, like spiritual life. You're going to have hard days.
Yeah.
It's not always going to be easy, but it's one of the beautiful things sports teach us is about life. And if you got somebody like that, a role model who's talking about that, when we're going through difficulties in our faith journey, or, you know, somebody that we love passes away, there's going to be down times, but if we can stack up these good times, stack up these constellations, have the people in our corner to help push us through, have role models to go before us to be like the saints, the heroes that we all look up to. I always say, like, we, especially as men, we all love like heroes or superheroes or war fighters, whatever you're into. It's like there's always somebody, but you realize like the only reason we like those people is because they're heroes, but they're only heroes because they had to go through something difficult. Like, it's not heroic to like not have to go through something hard. I was always a Captain America guy. I don't want to go all superhero because there's actual real people that are heroes too. But it's like the reason I like him is because he had to go through a lot of things to show honor and perseverance. But it's like, you're not a hero if you just have to stand up from your couch. It's like, no, you got to go do something.
Right. Yeah. I agree 100%. There's no guts, no glory.
No guts, no glory.
As they say.
Amen. Yeah. Amen. I love that. You guys have a team Bible study at Seton Hall?
We do. Yeah.
How did that start? How did you get involved with it? Where's it at now? Yeah. Where do you hope it goes? Kind of all encompassing. That's
a great question. So actually, I started my Bible study journey with, I got invited to be in a study that was kind of like intra-team. So there was like baseball players, soccer players. So that was kind of like my opening experience to Focus Bible Study. And then sophomore year, we started just a cross-country one with Dylan. Dylan kind of got it off the ground for us. And it's been really great. We have, at points, I think we've had almost like every single person on the team show up at one point or another. Yeah. I think excluding maybe one or two people.
Praise God.
But it's been like, it's gone from just like, I think my freshman year, I think it was either myself, I think there's maybe like two of us on the team that went to Bible study, and it's just kind of like ballooned since then. And I think people, like, they love to be involved in something, and they love to feel a part of something and something meaningful. And I think faith is like the most meaningful thing there is. And so
I agree.
Being in a study where also I think people can express themselves in a way that they aren't always able to, in like a deep manner, and be vulnerable with each other. I think, it's so great.
I think people long for that.
They do.
And even men long for that, but it's not something, especially as men, we typically don't like go out of our way to express our feelings, but you get an open spot with the guys that can be vulnerable.
Yeah.
It's healing for a lot of people.
Definitely. And I think what's cool is like you hear people express themselves and say things that like you wouldn't necessarily expect them to say, or like you wouldn't get that side of that person if like you weren't in that Bible study room. And so I don't know, I just think it's great. And I praise Dylan because he got it off the ground and really sort of like showed us the ropes with Bible study. And so now Michael and I kind of just run it on our own and take some feedback from the guys, like, oh, like what do they want to hear about? And we've done a lot of stuff related to the sport because like Focus has a lot of great resources for
shout out
athletes. So
it's
been good.
I second everything Steven said. Steven's done a great job in leading the Bible studies, and Dylan started it and gave us good instruction and good example to follow. And we've had great turnout every single Bible study we've had. Just guys, it's good. It's just guys, and it's like you don't necessarily hear them open up, in the locker room or like at the cafeteria or just hanging out, But in this sort of setting, like when specific topics are discussed, and it's like they sense that like it's a good place to. We're all in the same boat. We're all open here. We're all open to talking about whatever it is we need to talk about. And so it's just great to see everybody just, have the same mindset and just be open to growing more. So it's been great.
I think also the commitment from people to go to mass too. Like you see a lot of people go to
big time.
Like a lot of the team goes to mass on Sunday.
Do you think the Bible study plays a part in that they're more comfortable with their teammates? They see them going, like, you're going, okay, I'll go too.
Yeah, I think there's, and I think there's like, for the sense that I get from quite a few of them too is like there's a longing for something, and there's a yearning for something more. And I think going to mass, and like I brought somebody on the team to adoration for the first time this semester.
That's life changing, man.
Like just seeing like how much he enjoyed it, and sort of like that first time experience with adoration is just like unmatched, I feel like. But yeah, seeing that people want more, and even more than because I feel like I can only offer people so much in Bible study. Like I mean, I have some I feel like I have some good insights here and there, but I think really when people have that desire for themselves to go deeper and learn more and grow in their faith, I think that's really when I say, praise be to God, because he's really it's in his hands.
I was gonna say that it's like, not that I want to encourage you to downplay yourself, but at the same time, it's like the Holy Spirit is the one that makes things happen. So to put yourself out there, like as the leader, to allow these Bible studies to happen, well, then allow the Holy Spirit to work. We talk about, like, as missionaries, sometimes we're just supposed to plant ourselves in a spot to maybe cross somebody's path.
Yeah.
Right. If I want to make a difference, maybe I'll go sit outside the athletics facilities and see who comes in and out of the door. But if I really want this to happen, and I sit in my room, like, well, nobody's going to walk inside my room. So it's like, let me just get myself out there and see what happens.
Yeah.
So what's, okay, in terms of that, what legacy do you guys want to leave when you do leave Seton Hall, whether it's end of this year, next year? I don't know if you guys are going to have a fifth year or grad school or whatever, but maybe you haven't thought about it much, but you came in, you started this Bible study, you're on this team, you're persevering through things. What's kind of a legacy you want to leave when you leave Seton Hall?
I would say just a positive person, a loving person. For a long time, I've always felt driven to make a positive impact on whoever I interact with. And so being that positive person and that loving person, and hopefully just being a good example for others.
Love it.
I'd say I definitely want to be remembered by I want to set an example of excellence, of holding oneself to high standards and never settling for less than is best, like in faith and in academics and extracurriculars and
Love that.
family life and sports, everything. Just always striving for something more and something better. And speaking to the faith part and the Bible study part, I hope when I'm gone, well, I've a year and a half left, but when I'm gone, I hope whoever picks up the reins does it in a good way and keeps the legacy going on and can instruct. I hope we can continue the culture that we have now on the team. Yeah, because we have a really good culture. Yeah, we have a young team, and we have a new coach this year, but proud to be called his first ever team.
Cool.
And I think we've built a good culture under Coach Simon. Yeah, shout out Coach Simon.
Shout out Coach Simon.
But I hope it can continue. So that's the legacy I want to live.
Yeah.
Well, I think there's something special about if somebody's listening to this and they're like, man, I wish I had that on my team. To be like, well, it started somewhere.
Yeah.
And it's like, for you guys who leaving that legacy and to keep it going, for somebody transferring in or a freshman coming in next year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, it's like for this to continue, for them to step into, could be like a massive life-changing thing for them. Who knows? Especially, I mean, you said you're by New York City. You don't know, what kind of faiths and beliefs people are going to bring in, but if they got this culture that's built up, and it sounds like a question I'd probably know the answer to, but has the Bible study in turn helped team life? And so, like, you guys get to know each other better. You get to invite people into it. It's been positive. Do you guys feel like the team culture is better because you have a Bible study going?
Yeah, I think so. And I think what's cool is like some of those conversations I would only have in Bible study now. Sometimes like I have them outside of Bible study too. And so like you see how it, like, people take what they learn and what they get from Bible study and like bring it into the rest of their lives. And so I think that's really cool. And so like you sort of see how it knits us all together in that way. They're like, we're all sort of driven by the same thing, which I think is awesome. Yeah,
I agree. The conversations, I can't count the number of nights, 2 a.m., 3 a.m.,
Yeah.
4 a.m. I'm up
College
just like
life.
just talking, life or
Love that.
stuff from not necessarily directly related to Bible study, but conversations that maybe would not have taken place had it not been for
100%.
conversations in Bible study. And I think it just brings us closer together, as brothers, as a
Love
family.
that. You guys have mentioned your coaches a few times, Coach Wood, Coach Simon. Even I think one of you guys mentioned maybe a high school coach, even that.
Yeah.
But you guys thinking about going into coaching in the future? I don't know if that's on the radar.
I've always said coaching and teaching are not in my future whatsoever.
Okay.
Since I was young, I was like, nope, I'm not doing it. But
okay.
my mind has softened a bit over the years. Like, it's something I definitely would consider to pass the time. Like maybe coaching a cross country team, I think would be pretty cool. But maybe later down the line.
So
we'll
you guys
see.
got some good examples. So I'm like, all right, we're gonna continue. How about yourself?
I'm kind of the opposite of Michael. It's always been on my mind.
Okay.
And
Love it.
I coached high school baseball for a little bit, for 2 years. When I decided I was going to run it in college, I actually was a student coach my senior year. And then the following summer after my freshman year, I was an assistant coach with the high school team. And so I think there's always been a love of just helping other people grow. And I think because of what because I've been, because other coaches have nurtured my growth so much, I feel like I've wanted to give back to other people in that same sort of way, because I know how much it's meant to me to have that person in my corner. It's always there for me, and it's always helping me to grow. And so I think at some point or another, I'll definitely come back to it. I don't know.
Would it be baseball though? Would it be cross country?
I think at this point it would be cross country.
Yeah. Okay.
And so it was baseball there for a few years. And if it was baseball again, I wouldn't be too sad.
Yeah,
but
that sounds nice.
I think if it were to be anything, it would probably be cross country, unless it's like my kids like t-ball or little league, something like that. But in terms of like higher level coaching, like high school or college, I think probably cross country. But I hope an opportunity comes around again, because I would probably jump on it. I love coaches and like the idea of coaching and helping people grow. So.
It's one of the hidden things about Varsity Catholic we talk about, is that if we can make a great impact with the student athletes, a lot of times student athletes are future coaches, especially at higher up levels. So it's like, okay, then you guys experience, imagine how much a good coach actually makes an impact on a young man, a young woman. It's like, so wow, if we can start to grow these great coaches from a young age, then they can have great coaches, and then our kids are going to have great experiences, and then hopefully a faithful coach is bringing the faith life naturally into the sport, and the rest is history, right? One step at a time, we go from there. It sounds like if you guys were to go on pro in anything other than cross country, you'd want to be a basketball player, you'd want to be a baseball player?
See, that's a tough question.
Because you said Kobe and Steph,
yes.
and you're talking baseball, but
Yeah.
what would that answer be if you could go pro in anything? Other than running.
Okay, it's a close tie. It's a close tie between being a professional basketball player and a professional soccer player.
Soccer, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I just think
Cup's gonna be great
Soccer would be
this year.
cool.
A lot of respect for soccer athletes.
Yeah. One, you get to run a lot in that too, so there you go.
Yeah, you got to be quick, agile, strength, footwork, everything.
Okay, let's go. I wasn't ready for that. I thought you were gonna go basketball. Okay.
For me, I mean, you're spot on with the baseball, but if it wasn't baseball, it would be cycling for sure.
You meant
those guys. I mean, it just is amazing to me. It's like when they get to the Tour de France, it's like they're running. It's like the equivalent of like running a marathon every day, but for 3 weeks straight. I'm like, how do they do this?
No, it's amazing.
And it's amazing, and I think it'd be really cool to be, because there's so much that goes into it. Like behind the scenes, I've watched some of like their fueling and like. The team chefs cook for them. It's like all that is just so cool to me, but also it's a little risky for me. The downhills and the riding in the Peloton and all the crashes. I'm like a rather risk averse person when it comes to physical activity. So I think, But if it was like not super risky, if it wasn't as risky, then maybe.
Coach Simon doesn't have to worry about you doing intramurals during season. I'm not hurting myself. Nope.
Coach Simon has actually played pickup basketball with us.
He loves it. Yeah.
He's gonna break somebody's
Football,
ankle.
basketball,
That's great.
So.
Everything.
No, cycling. Okay, the first time I saw Tour de France, I remember I was probably like 10 years old, but I remember looking at a screen like, oh, that's kind of cool, but they're just biking, like whatever.
Yeah,
but then I look at the bottom corner, I'm like, how fast are they going? I'm like,
For how long? They've been riding for 4 hours? What the heck?
Like, I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh, they're like driving cars with their bikes.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
they're just
insane.
cruising.
And I feel like in a sense it's harder than running as well, because with running you have the motion of your body, like you have your arms and torso and whatnot. But
Yeah.
cycling is you're sitting on a seat, you're hunched over.
Yeah.
You're just using your
pretty
legs. It's
incredible.
all, quad power. It's all leg power.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
We're not
pretty
going to get
incredible.
into this, but I'm always curious of what kind of padding do they got underneath? Because I imagine your
Oh,
butt's
the bibs, yeah, they do have padding. Yeah, the
I'm
bibs
saying
too.
like down here.
On the
like,
seats.
On the seats.
Oh, I know
I
like
know-
the shorts they wear. have
They do
padding.
too? Okay.
But the seats honestly don't have much.
I was going to
so-
say, I just feel like I'd be getting a red down there, and I don't.
Yeah.
Saddle
That's
seat.
a TMI. Maybe
I think
another.
so too.
There's another.
They don't look too comfortable.
No, they don't look comfortable at all, but we'll another time. I love it. Okay, last question I ask everybody. Just because you have the mic, you have the stage, and maybe you've already said it already, but what's a message that you'd want to tell somebody listening to this? Or maybe even you could think about your younger self. What's something you'd want them to hear? So you got the mic. Kind of what's your phrase you want to leave the people with?
That's a good question.
No pressure.
I would say God is always knocking. And I think oftentimes we can be quick to maybe pretend like we didn't notice he's knocking, or just to close the door on him. But he's always knocking, and he's always waiting there for us when we do decide to open the door. And also, I would say the other thing is just to be motivated by love. I think that's one thing I heard one of the missionaries at Seton Hall say, and that stuck with me. Be motivated by love.
Motivated by love, and God's always knocking. This guy's going to be giving a Sikh talk in a few years.
Yeah.
That's great.
Guest speaker.
Yeah.
Guest speaker, Mr. Beeman. Man, that's a hard question. But I'd probably go with something that I'm personally trying to work on more, is I'd say be present and absorb every single moment that you're in. Don't dwell too much on the past or the future, because I've had some decisions I've regretted, and I think everybody has, and I don't know what's in my future, and nobody really does know what's in their future. So I think, and our coaches hone this a lot, but this is something that I'm trying to work on, is fulfilling your duties and your responsibilities to the best of your ability in the present moment will guarantee, if you're after success, that'll guarantee success, but it'll guarantee, a solid future. And I think just staying calm, trusting in God, and not forcing things, being patient and just waiting for what he has in store for you. Just be calm, just chill out, everything's going to work out. But I would just go back to that, being present in every single moment, absorb everything that you can, because you'll never get this moment back. And, be present to the people who are present to you and the things that are present in your life, and don't try to escape your life, through whatever means you use to escape your life. Just take your life as it is, and just be present, take everything in.
I just thought of this. Living in the present does show a great trust and hope in God as well.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm not worried. I got God right here. Living in the present. I am where I'm supposed to be. Got all I have. Got God. I'm alive.
Definitely.
Like, here you
That's
go.
all you need.
Oh, I love that. That reminds me of a homily I heard from Father Marius at Seton Hall, who said, just rejoice in every day. And if we wake up and rejoice in every day, I think we're so often concerned about what's next. We're so I think especially as student athletes, we're preparing for the next race, the next season, whatever it be, that we forget we're here. We can rejoice in this day. There's such great things going on right now in front of me. So
Gosh.
it's a good point.
That's actually a good segue to close this out, because right now we are at Seek, and so it's let's take these next 2 days. Let's be here. Let's take it all in. Let's enjoy it, because then January 5th in the afternoon, you're not going to be here, and it's like, oh man, I really wish I would have went to that talk or pay attention to that or whatever. So we love it. But that's going to be it for us in the Varsity Catholic Podcast today. This episode, again, live at Seek 26. Great to be with you guys. It's awesome.
Yeah,
Likewise.
If you're watching this, like it, subscribe it, follow us on Instagram at Varsity Catholic, and always remember to compete well, finish the race, and keep the faith.